全剂疫苗的才可以坐在里面。如果是没有注册全剂疫苗的，那就要坐在那个报名处那一边哈，请大家合作，谢谢。全剂疫苗的，全剂疫苗的可以坐在护摩殿这边。如果不是有打全剂疫苗的话呢，那请您坐在报名处那一边。好，谢谢你们的合作，谢谢。
生活中美国彩虹内藏式勾财天理护摩法会开始，一会大众请起立，恭迎真佛宗创办人法王圣尊莲生活佛，一会大众唱诵莲花童子心咒。回天心三印，2拜诸菩萨，嗡啊吽，观想顶礼，回天心三印，3拜诸护法金刚，嗡啊吽，观想顶礼，回天心三印，4平等一起走。恭请师尊移步到展示屏，接受众线上的众弟子问安。
快乐，新年快乐，祝生日快乐，快乐，新年快乐，新年快乐，新年快乐，快乐，快乐，新年快乐，新年快乐，新年快乐，新年快乐，恭喜发财，新年快乐。新的家庭，家财，高财，身体健康，家里有居，
祝拜年的许哲新年快乐，新年快乐，
快乐，
健康平安，新年快乐，愉快圆满，
新年快乐，身体健康，感恩师父，吉祥新年快乐，开福快乐，
一起自在，开心，天天快乐，
新年快乐，快乐，身体安康，新年快乐，新年快乐，
是最好的。
祝我身体健康长寿。
发生。 这个方式，
让你自由自在里面的师尊，我们爱你，生活平安顺利，快乐身体健康，
欢喜自在。
希望新的一年会
恭请法王圣尊莲生活佛升法王座。
We welcome our lineage root Guru, His Holiness Living Buddha Lien Sheng, to enter into the temple hall, to pay homage to the three jewels, and to ascend to the Dharma throne.
恭请法王圣尊莲生活佛加持助集者及功德主报名表
Inviting
格。
His Holiness to bless the prayers of the primary supplicants and merit holders.
敬献哈达与会大众虔诚合掌，请释莲喜上师代表与会大众向法王圣尊莲生活佛敬献哈达，以表最崇高敬意。 观想真佛宗传承，南无大日如来，南无佛焰佛母，南无阿弥陀佛，南无莲。
Visualize the Buddha lineage. Namo Vajra Sutra, Namo Buddha Lokana, Namo Amitabha Buddha, Namo Padma Kumara, Namo Living Buddha Lien Sheng. Visualize Grandmaster and all Buddhas and Bodhisattvas radiating light to bless us. We said the Padma Kumara mantra.
Om Guru Lien Sheng Siddhi Hom. Om Guru Lian 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 Sheng Siddhi Hom.
Perform the visualization of the four immeasurables, ancestors and relatives from the father's side to your right, from the mother's side to your left, friends and teachers behind us, enemies and karmic creditors in front of us, sentient beings around us, together practicing tantric dharma and ultimately attaining Buddhahood. Wake up call. Recite purification mantras and the Adyeti mantra.
Om Siudori Siudori Siumori Siumori Soha. Om Vajra Dan He Hom. Namo Samanto Motolan Om Duru Duru Devi Soha.
Recite invocation mantra.
Om Ah Hom Soha. Om Ah Hom Soha.
We sincerely invoke our lineage root Guru's Holiness Living Buddha Lin Shen. Namo White Maha Padma Kumara. Namo Lotus Light Self-Mastery Buddha. Namo True Buddha School 8 Lineage Gurus. We sincerely invoke the main deity of Homa, Namo Manohara. We sincerely invoke the main deity of Homa, Namo Manohara. We sincerely invoke the main deity of Homa, Namo Manohara. Namo Golden Mother of the Primordial Jet Ponds. Namo 5 Dhyani Buddhas. Namo True Buddha School 8 Primary Deities. Namo Yamantaka. Namo Akalanata. Namo 4 Heavenly Kings. Namo Sima Bodhisattva. Rainbow temples, all Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, Herukas, Dhammapalas, Dakinis, and divinities, all the deities enshrined at the Tantric Quarter, at the Seattle Lezang Temple, and at the South Mountain Retreat. Rainbow temples, Mountain God, Earth God, Plant God, Wind God, Water God, Heavenly Fire God, Dragon Gods, and all divinities as well as the city gods, to please radiate light and bless this Homa. Great homage using visualization for Sturut Guru and all Buddhas. Visualize for prostration on the ground, release the mudra. Second to all Bodhisattvas. Visualize for prostration on the ground, release the mudra. Third to all Herukas and Dhamma protectors. Visualize for prostration on the ground, release the mudra. Fourth half bow. Great mandala offering from the offering mudra. Visualize the transformations of the offerings to become innumerable to fill the whole cosmic space. Make the offering above to the lineage root Guru, all the lineage Gurus, the main deity of Homa, Namo Manohara, the wealth attracting goddess, and all Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, Herukas, Dhammapalas, Dakinis, divinities, and below to all sentient beings. Reset the offering verse and mantra. Mount Meru, 4 continents, and sun and moon transform into precious offerings for the Buddhas. May these wondrous treasures and merits purge our karma to all of our civilization. For food refuge, visualize our lineage root Guru, all the lineage Gurus, Buddha jewel, Dhamma jewel, and Sangha jewel to form bright white light to empower us.
念四皈依咒。
He said
南无
mantra.
咕噜贝，南无布达耶，南无达摩耶，南无僧伽耶。南无咕噜贝，南无布达耶，南无达摩耶，南无僧伽耶。南无咕噜贝，南无布达耶，南无达摩耶，南无僧伽耶。做披甲护身，手结金刚合掌手印，念金刚手菩
From
萨
Vajra
真言
Sutra,
持
recite
念。
Vajrapani
嗡波尤
mantra.
兰这里，嗡波尤兰这里，嗡波尤兰这里，嗡波尤兰这里，嗡波尤兰这里，嗡波尤兰这里，嗡波尤兰这里。恭请法王圣尊莲生
Inviting
活
His
佛
Holiness
做
Living
诸
Buddha
礼
Lian
加
Sheng
持。
to perform blessings with mala. 我是跟他讲，没有答应他参加，因为我说我们已经 halfway 了，已经差不多了，而且我们有我们的规矩啊什么的，你知道吗？其实他的很多，当然也是好啦，他有一些 suggestion 什么的，我们也讨，就是很多我写的那些都是他给的 suggestion， 你知道吗？那开始的时候那个 Samantha， 因为如果你只是听他一方面。是 make sense， 你知道吗？哦，对，但是如果你想的比较细一点，比较远一点，就不一定是正确的。你像 or 跟 nor， 其实他讲的不对呀、我就后来越查越不对呀、啊，对，喂，哦 ，sorry， 哎呦 ，thank you so much，thank you。没有起到人。
恭请法王圣尊莲生活佛金刚灵处结界加持报名
Inviting His Holiness
供及供品。
to set ceremonial demarcation, to bless the registration forms, hallmark cards, and all the offerings with Vajra bell and scepter.
请大家起立，恭敬合掌。
Please stand up and join your palms with reverence. Together we are inviting His Holiness to perform the ritual of opening the Homa fire pit, to lit the Homa fire, to set simultaneation around it, to lit the Homa fire, to make all the offerings, and to perform Mudra transformations for purifications, enrichments, magnetization, subjugation, and Vajra deliverance. And we'll be reciting the Hat Mantra of Manohara. He said that mantras of
อง
invisibility to someone can be done.
องมานิเปมีคมองปนโมนิโตนิสงคาองฮาฮาฮาเวสมเยสงคาองเจริจุดีจุนทีสงคาองจำปาราชาลังชาลาเยสงคาองอาหมเบจางกุรุเปมาสิติคมเสองอาหมกุรุเปอาหสัสมหาเลียนเซิงสิติคมเตียทาองเบคาเจยะเบคาเจยะมาฮาเบคาเจยะลาจาสมโมเคียเดเหโสคา南无36万亿1119000如来同名同号阿弥陀佛。南无36万亿1119000如来同名同号阿弥陀佛。南无36万亿1119000如来同名同号阿弥陀佛。
He said the supplication to the Buddha to stay in the Saha world. I pay homage and supplicate His Holiness the Virtuous and Marvelous Santika, all Buddhas of the 10 directions, compassionate bodhisattvas, Herukas, Dhammapas, and Dakinis, protectors of Dharma. The nights are long, the 3 poisons are proliferating. My body and soul are stricken, tumbling in the misery of perpetual rebirth. With great compassion, His Holiness came to this world to salvage the deluded ones. 3 jewels, eminent wondrous light, to provide refuge for all. All fortunate beings, humans and devas, rely on His Vajra body for the bestowal of teachings, vows, precepts, empowerments, and attainments. We disciples of Buddha plead that you stay in the Saha world to turn the Dharma wheel, to benefit and give happiness to multitudes of sentient beings. Merit dedication. May all uphold the Buddha, ascend to the love of utmost bliss, repaying fourfold generosities from above, aiding those in the 3 realms below. Upon seeing the Buddha, may we transcend life and death like the Buddha, may we liberate all. To Buddha's school disciples, wholeheartedly pray to Manohara Vasudhara, the lead world deity from the western pure land of utmost bliss, to please utilize your unexcelled power of your hook to alleviate all of our lineage Guru's calamities and hindrances. Please invoke all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas to protect His Holiness with great fortune and merits, strong body and great energy, bliss, self-mastery, favorable helps to continue live in samsara, to turn the Dharma wheel in samsara and to lead sentient beings to their shore. Inviting His Holiness to perform the overall merit dedication. Homage to the chief wealth deity of all wealth deities, the Manohara Vasudhara. Homage to the chief of all wealth deities, Manohara Vasudhara. Homage to the chief wealth deity, the Manohara Vasudhara. Please, by your Vajra hook, and attract the Vajra spirits with affinity, Vajra spirits without affinities, to be reborn into the pure Buddha lands. By your Vajra hook, please hook away the pandemic, hook away the sicknesses, hook away the viruses, and bestow upon all of us good health. By your Vajra hook, please hook all the precious items and to bestow all that we need to fulfill all our needs. By your Vajra hook, please attract love and harmony. By your Vajra hook, please hook away all adversities, the bad affinities, all completely hooked away. Please, by your Vajra hook, to invoke the Yidam so that we can be in spiritual union with the Yidam. Manohara Vasudhara, and gods in heavens, gods on earth, may be far from all calamities, may all calamities abandon us, may all disasters turn into dust. May all of our prayers be granted. Please hook away the pandemic, the viruses, sicknesses, bad lucks, bad affinities, all completely eradicated. We say 100 silver mantra 3 times.
Sato ahom pei om beja sato samaya manupanaya beja sato tenu padicha zezo me bawa suto kayu me bawa sobo kayu me bawa anora to me bawa sarwa sidi me bunaya cha sawa kama sutame jitamu siriyan guru hom ha 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 bhagavan sawa tathagata beja mami mencha beja bawa mahasamaya sato ahom pei om beja sato samaya manupanaya beja sato tenu padicha zezo me bawa suto kayu me bawa sobo kayu me bawa anura to me bawa sarwa sidi me bunaya cha sawa kama sutame jitamu siriyan guru hom ha 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 bhagavan sawa tathagata beja mami mencha beja bawa mahasamaya sato ahom pei.
Great homage choosing visualization for Student Guru and all Buddhas. Visualize for position on the ground, release the mudra. Second to all Bodhisattvas. Visualize the position on the ground. Release the mudra to all Herukas and Dharma protectors. Visualize the position on the ground. Release the mudra. Fourth head bow. Recite completion mantra.
Om Brim, Om Brim, Om Mani Padme Hum。让我们以热烈的掌声感谢根本上师法王圣尊莲
Let's
宗
give
活
a great
佛
round
主
of
坛公
applause
台
to our
典礼
lineage
护
root
摩
guru
法会。
as our token of gratitude for presiding over this Manohara
恭请法王圣尊
Vasuhara
莲宗活佛
Koma
做
Fire
宝贵
Offering
的
Ceremony.
法语开示。
Now we are inviting His Holiness to bestow the precious Dharma teaching.
我们先敬礼传承祖师，
Let's first pay homage
了明
to the lineage gurus.
敬礼萨迦真空上师，敬礼14大
Homage to the Venerable Mang Liao Ming, homage to Master Sakya Zhengkong, homage to His Holiness the 16th Karmapa, and homage to Master Dukten Dorji.
敬礼今天复活的祖尊，
Homage to the main deity of Homa today,
佛
the Manohara Vasudhara,
师母
the wealth-attracting goddess.
大错，
Sumo Tanzang Gato Dutton
各位
City,
上师，
all Dharma masters, Dharma educators, Dharma teachers, Dharma lecturers, Dharma assistants, rectors of temples and chapters, all disciples present here and over the internet.
安，大家好。
Good afternoon, how do you do?
你好，大家好。心照，感恩。愛してる。シャラヘ。オラミコ。ケケロムチョ。すごい。一番。気持ちいい。住民。やび。プリンプリン。こんにちは。
Good afternoon, Happy New Year. I would like to announce for next Sunday, February 6th, Sunday 3 p.m. There will be Tiger Head Vajra Homa Fire Offering Ceremony. And the Tiger Head Vajra is the wrathful emanation of Golden Mother. So, Tiger Head Vajra is the wrathful emanation of Golden Mother. And the Tiger Head Vajra is the auspicious item for this year, the year of the tiger. The Tiger Head Vajra. One of her hands is holding the command banner, and the other one is holding a gourd, like a calabash or a gourd that looks like a bottle. So this is the image of Tiger Head Vajra. She can bring wealth, health, and anything that you need. And this year, the year of the tiger, And the tiger head Vajra would be the most auspicious. If you don't want any auspiciousness in this year, then you don't need to become primary supplicant. I am not forcing you to become primary supplicants, but if you don't want any auspiciousness, then you don't need to become primary supplicants. So what Grandmaster is saying is true. You don't need to force anything about anything. It will not be good. The mantra, Om Chimu Siddhi Hom Hom Pe, and the mudra. This is the tiger head, the head of the tiger. This mudra symbolizes the head of the tiger. That's for the tiger head Vajra. And today we perform Manohara Vasudhara. It was very clear in my overall merit dedication. She does not hook only wealth, she can also hook love and respect. And moreover, she can hook away bad things and to attract good things, attract wealth and good fortune. And today it's raining. It's been a long time since it rained. And today it's raining. And water represents money or wealth. So that's called a spiritual response. One drop is the same as 10 millions. One raindrop, 10 millions. So you can hook wealth, health, and hook away all the sicknesses, and then attract good health, and hook away calamities. And then for Bardo deliverance, it can also hook the Bardo spirits with affinity and Bardo spirits without affinity to be hooked to the Sukhavati. And you can hook great fortune, whatever you need. So whatever you need, you can attract, and whatever you don't need, you can throw away using the Vajra hook. Very useful. And the key formula, you need to turn it 3 times. You need to turn the Vajra hook 3 times. So just now, I hook pure gold, true gold, covering all the ground and stack high. Gold bars. So pure gold bars stack very high. All gold all over, covering the ground. So we hook the true gold, not paper bills, because paper bills are still paper, but the real gold is approved and recognized all over the world. And also we attract all the precious items. So tomorrow is the Lunar New Year's Eve. And for the Southeast Asia today is the New Year's Eve. So Happy New Year. There are two men having a dialogue. He said, my wife maybe is on menopause, she's very forgetful. She's carrying a knife and yet looking for the knife all around the house. I really couldn't stand it. I can't stand her. And the other man said, oh, that's much better than mine. My wife is carrying a knife and looking for me around the house. A grandpa came from the village to see the grandson in the city. And then the grandson took the grandpa to eat at the restaurant, and on the wall there is a note that says free Wi-Fi. And so the waiter asked, what would you like to order? And the grandpa said, oh, I want the free one there, the Wi-Fi. The wife went to the prison to visit her husband. So, how are you doing? Are you suffering? And the husband replied, not so much. It's the same as at home. Not allowed me to go anywhere, cannot drink, and the food is as bad. Now we'll get to the main topic, the question and answer. From Sarawak, Malaysia. Asked by Lian Hua Tian Mu. On February 28, 2016, at the Freedom Square in Taipei, during the Mahottara Heruka Grand Ceremony, Grandmaster, for the first time, conferred the empowerment of Mahottara 100 peaceful and wrathful deities and deliverance during Bardo through hearing the teachings. According to the Tibetan Book of the Dead, one will encounter the 100 deities at the moment of death. So, on top of the Mahottara mantra, should we also chant the mantras of the other 100 deities? Wish Grandmasters live a long life. Om Mani Padme Hum. So the mantras of the 100 peaceful and wrathful deities. That was Mahottara mantra. That's the Mahottara Heruka mantra. But he asked, should we also chant the mantras of the 100 deities? Should I ask?
总持咒吗？
Is there a common mantra for the 100 peaceful and restful deities?
当然是有咒语。
Of course, each one of them would have their own mantra. What sound was that? And maybe that's the common mantra.
很简单，问大家一句：你们听过文武百尊的咒语？
So let me ask you a question. Have you ever heard
查查看，手机查查看，文武百尊咒语。
the mantra for the 100 peaceful and restful deities? Check the internet quick.
现在你们有手机很方便的，谈到什么马上就出来。那天我想说，我想听一首歌，叫做《桥边姑娘》。他们马上找到，就播出来。
I wanted to hear a song called The Girl by the Bridge, and immediately they found it and played it. Because I heard it once at the Rainbow Temple and I liked it. So I thought of it, and they immediately could find it on the internet and play it. So the mantra of the 100 peaceful and restful deity. Is there?
怎么念？网络上有这个咒语啊。
Is there this mantra on the internet? Wow, that's amazing. But I have no cell phones.
文武百尊心咒，真的有文武百尊的心咒，就是总持咒。
Oh, so that mantra of the 100 peaceful and restful deities. That's called the common or general mantra.
Om A Hom Bodh Zda Maha Sukha Janata De A Om Zdo Zdo Hom Zo Hom Om Zdo Zdo Hom Zo Hom 这个厉害，真的有文武百尊心咒。
It's incredible. Really, they have the mantra for 100 peaceful and restful deities. There may be two mantras. One let me consult if we should chant it or not. Wow, so you can search and find it on the internet. That's so convenient on the cell phone, and I don't even have one but me. So please let us know if we have to chant the mantra.
好，谢谢。可以念。
Yes, you can chant it. Or not. So either way, you can chant it or not.
可以念，也可以不念。因为你念大幻化网金刚。
Because by chanting Mahotara mantra,
大幻化网金刚，它里面就是所文武百尊。
because inside Mahotara Heruka there hidden the 100 peaceful and wrathful deities. So Mahotara is the 100 peaceful and wrathful deities. So if you want to add the other mantra, it's okay too. But by just chanting the Mahotara mantra, which is what Grandmaster just chanted, is fine too. It's the same as the common mantra for all the 100 peaceful and wrathful deities. Because inside the Mahotara mandala or pagoda are the 100 peaceful and wrathful deities. So Mahotara is the essence or the embodiment of all of them. So you can either chant both of them or just Mahotara is fine. Mahotara mantra is fine. And my gurus only taught me the mantra of Mahotara Heruka and not the other mantras for the 100 deities. So the answer is complete. So it's fine if you want to chant, you can add it or not. It's fine too. Question from Malaysia by Xiao Liu. Mr. Grandmaster. In Tantric Buddhism, there are many methods of visualizations to multiply and transform into immeasurable merits, such as mantras for paying homage, for circumambulation, to bless chanting beads, the 1,000 turns of the wheel Dharma practice, as well as in the smoke offering and fire offering. There are also methods to transform into multiplicities. However, in my opinion, these do not quite matter because the key is in the generation of one's bodhicitta. Is that right? So he thinks they don't quite matter. Mantras for paying homage, circumambulation, to bless chanting beads, the 1,000 turns of the wheel, smoke offering, fire offering. They are methods to transform or to multiply. But that doesn't matter because the key is in the generation of bodhicitta. Is that right? I would say yes. Because for any Dharma practice, you need to add the bodhicitta generation. When we look at the practice procedure, the first one, the one that I given to my guru, first is fourfold refuge, great homage, great offering, the 4 immeasurables. And what are the 4 immeasurables? That's generation of bodhicitta. So generating the 4 immeasurables is the same as generating bodhicitta. So the Guru taught us before the Dharma practice, we first perform the prostration, offering, fourfold refuge, 4 immeasurables, generate bodhicitta. Always these few things before, at the beginning. And one of them is generation of bodhicitta, which is very important. So for each of the Dharma practice, you need to generate bodhicitta. Because only by generating bodhicitta, you are bodhisattva. Without generating bodhicitta, then you have self, like stated in the Vajra Sutra. So generating bodhicitta is to help sentient beings. No self. Generating bodhicitta. It's the spirit of no self. That is right. to Malaysia, Xiaolu. Second question. I once heard a Dharma propagator say that by doing the 1,000 turns of the Dharma, the 1,000 turns of the wheel, Dharma practice, one can also multiply one's irrelevant thoughts, so he discouraged its practice. I think we should not be afraid to practice any Dharma, whether it's good or bad. It depends on our own mindset. Like the ghost witch who practiced Homa to do evil things, which was not the problem of the Homa itself. So, Tantrayana is somewhat different from other schools. It's here because you can multiply it. You can enhance it. Because in Mahayana it was mentioned that to attain Buddhahood you need 3 great asamkhya kalpas. But in Tantrayana, you can complete it in one lifetime. Because in Tantrayana, you have the 1,000 turns of the wheel. So by practicing one time is the same as 1,000 times. By chanting one mantra is the same as chanting 1,000 times. So you multiply it and you increase it over and over. And that's Tantrayana, but not in Mahayana. If you make an offering, that's it. They don't visualize it to become from one dot to become one plane, or to fill the whole dimensions, the whole cosmic space. That's how you do offering in Tantrayana. So you continue to multiply them. Therefore, spiritual cultivation in Tantrayana is faster. And that's the reason why. So a Dharma propagator said that the 1,000 turns of the wheel can enhance your irrelevant thoughts because you don't have kind hearts. You don't generate bodhicitta. So, but it's said here, generation of bodhicitta is very important, and you multiply it. So, if you treat your irrelevant thoughts as the Dharma, then of course they also multiply. So, good or bad depends on your mind. That's very important. So, if you learn and apply tantric practice to do evil things, then that would be bad. So your question is 1,000 turns of the wheel is fine, or multiplying practices is fine, as long as your mind is pure and your mind is bodhicitta, is fine. Third question. In completing our preliminary or fundamental practices, we should do it as a matter of factly. One is counted as one and not 1,000. Regardless of the multiplied merits, we should count one as one. After chanting 100,000 times or more, although the merit cannot be obtained, but on the mundane ground, one must continue to do good, because there is no such thing as attaining Buddhahood through evil deeds. This is my realization. Is it correct? Of course. There is no bodhisattvas who do evil deeds. Of course, that is right. So when we count, some people use some counters when they chant the Buddha's name. One is one. And don't think about the merits, but you still do the 1,000 turns of the wheel. That is okay. But you don't worry about the merits. And one is still counted as one. So Xiao Liu's opinion is right. I have always been practicing with the 1,000 turns of the wheel and had never any problem, with one exception. I help perform Dharma practice for those who died from forest fire in a certain country. Afterwards, I felt heat all over my body, although my temperature stayed normal. I often felt miserable and wanted to die, but at the same time, I clearly knew that those thoughts were not mine, and they did not affect my daily life. 1 week later, I still felt it, and I started to feel miserable and tired, so I did the Golden Mother practice of body replacement. Thereafter, I returned to normal. My question is, if I encounter a similar experience in the future, should I do bardo deliverance or transforming it as a means to enter meditation? If I do bardo, how much offerings do I need to prepare, or can I offer my wisdom, chi, inner fire, and light drops as the best kind of offerings? So this is a deep question. He did Dhamma practice for those who died from forest fire. And afterwards he felt heat all over the body, and yet the body temperature stayed normal. I felt miserable and wanted to die. At the same time, I clearly knew that those thoughts were not mine and did not affect my life. And then a week later, I did the Golden Mother body replacement practice. So you should have done it as soon as you feel miserable. You don't have to wait 1 week later. You should do the Golden Mother's practice of body replacement right away. Or you can do the Golden Mother practice of body replacement immediately after you do the practice for those who died from the forest fire, which means you transfer the calamities to your Yidam or Golden Mother, and you let the cosmic space to handle it, to burden it, and because it's emptiness, so it's transformed into nothing. So if you encounter the same thing in the future, you should do the Golden Mother's practice of body replacement. That would be right. Because by doing Golden Mother's practice of body replacement, then you alleviate the replacement. You don't have to do bardo deliverance, because if you do bardo deliverance, who knows, maybe many more would come. Or transforming it as a means to enter meditation. It's better if you perform Golden Mother's body replacement practice first. And how much offerings do you need? Like if you do bardo deliverance, there would be countless. Or should I offer the wisdom, chi, inner fire, and light drops as the best kind of offering? Wisdom, chi, inner fire, and light drops can be used as offerings. However, it is best the one that can alleviate your disaster is to do Golden Mother's practice of body replacement. See, because you're taking over the karma, so that's why, of course, body replacement. would be best. So Golden Mother is the mother sage. So anyone who has become a sage would go to the Golden Mother to report. To check in, to register, to check in. I want to learn to swim because I heard swimming can make you lose weight. Come on, don't be silly. Look at the whales. They swim 24 hours a day and are they slim? There's a Zen master at the Mount Wutai who took in a 3-year-old novice as the little monk. So they practiced in the mountains deep for over 10 years and never came out, never left the mountain. So the little monk did not recognize the cows and the horses and the chickens and dogs. These are cows can work, the horses can be ridden, the chicken can crow, call you to wake up, and the dogs can watch the house. And then there's a beautiful girl is walking by, and the little monk asks, "So what animal is this?" So the Zen master, in order to protect him, told him, "This is called tiger. So if you're eaten by it, you will not have anything left, not even your bones." So when they returned to the mountain, the Zen master asked, "So of all that you've seen today at the foot of the mountain, are you still thinking of any of them?" And then the young monk said, "All I think about is that tiger, the human-eating tiger." Confucius said that food, sex are human nature. Even the young monk is that way too. So, but we shouldn't be afraid of the tiger. There's nothing to be scared of. Just treat the tigers as the lizards. As in Chinese, it rhymes, they rhyme. Yeah. So the lizards. And you can learn to be like Wusong, who specializes to beat the lizards. Lizards is like wall tigers, in Chinese. Now, today we will talk on the Vajra Sutra. Subhuti, I recall during the countless Asamkhya kalpas before Dipankara Buddha, I made offerings and served 84,000 trillion Nayutta Buddhas without fail. In comparison, if there is a person in the Dharma ending era who can read, recite, and uphold the sutra, his merits will exceed my merits from offering to all the Buddhas for more than 100 times, 1,000,000,000 times, or even beyond any measurement. Subhuti, there may be someone upon hearing my statement on the merits of a good man and good woman who recite and uphold the sutra in the Dharma ending era, who would become utterly confused, suspicious, and in disbelief. Subhuti, know that the meaning of the sutra is inconceivable, and its reward is also inconceivable. This was spoken by Sakyamuni Buddha. Subhuti, every time the Buddha was giving Dharma teachings, whichever disciple asked him question, he would call on the disciple's name. He recalled during countless Ashamka kalpas before, Dipamkara Buddha, or the burning light Buddha, I made offerings and served 84,000 trillion Nayuta Buddhas. That's 10 to the 140th still. That's uncountable. So, made offerings and serve all these Buddhas without fail, so that they would be satisfied, never miss a Buddha. In comparison, if there is a person in the Dharma ending era who can read, recite, and uphold the sutra, his merits will exceed my merits from offering to all the Buddhas for more than 100 times. 1,000,000,000,000 times, or even beyond any measure. So this is the comparison spoken by Sakyamuni Buddha. So offerings to infinite Buddhas compared to reading, reciting, and upholding the Vajra Sutra. So the comparison of the two. So Sakyamuni Buddha had made offerings to infinite Buddhas, and in the later era, there is a person who can uphold and recite the Vajra Sutra, and the merits of each of them were compared. So it's like 1%. So offerings to infinite Buddhas is only is less than the one who can uphold and recite the Vajra Sutra. But the key is in the upholding, as I have said before. Why? Because you do have merits by offering to Buddhas, but you can count it. But upholding the Vajra Sutra, it's impossible to count or measure them. Measure the merits and pay attention. There is a comparison here. Sakyamuni Buddha in his past lives have made offerings to many Buddhas, all Buddhas, never missing one. He offered to all the Buddhas. And I uphold the Vajra Sutra, read and recite the Vajra Sutra, and comparing the two, the issue here is in the comparison. In this world, here there is a meaning hidden in it. Very few people will ever mention it. See? But let me tell you, please don't compare. Grandmaster Lu says, do not compare. 4 Chinese words. By all means, never compare. Why do you want to compare? Because comparison is the source of all afflictions. Because once you compare, there would be self. Because only when you have self, you would compare. If you have no self, whom would you compare with? So, what's the meaning of Vajra Sutra? It's mentioned here. Sakyamuni Buddha made offerings to 84,000 trillion Ayuta Buddhas. Made offerings and served, and never missing any Buddha. Compared to the one who uphold and recite the sutra, his merits compared to my merits is more than 100 times, 1,000,000,000,000 times, or even beyond any measurement. So Sakyamuni Buddha was talking about comparison. I'm not telling Sakyamuni Buddha, but I'm telling you, do not compare. How can you compare? And comparing is the source of afflictions. You leave the house today and you see a beautiful girl, and then you get home and see your own wife. And then you would smash the glasses, and then you would throw your antiques, but not antiques, they're expensive, just throw something cheap. Why? Someone is so beautiful, but why is my wife like this? Then you would feel upset. You cannot compare. So afflictions come from comparing. So behind our Seattle Lichang Temple is Microsoft Corporation, which is getting bigger and bigger. It bought all the lands around it. When I passed by it, before we even built the Seattle Lichang Temple, I have said it that whoever bought this piece of land would become the richest man in the world. It has a good geomancy. It's a land belonging to the richest man in the world. We are down the hill, but up the hill is Microsoft. And if you're comparing to Bill Gates, it would be comparing that second one to the chicken drum stick. How can you compare? For him, he would just spend trillions or billions of dollars for his charity. So when he found Africa to be poor, he donated billion of dollars to raise chicken there. He did not know that the chickens came from Africa. But whenever he spent, he would spend billions of them, $1 billion of them. And our Seng Yen Lu Foundation has spent I don't know how much money right now. Perhaps a few $1 million. But for him, it's like hundreds of millions or billions of dollars. How can we compare? How can we compare? Whenever they give, that's billions, but for us it's just million. How can you compare? If you compare, you would be so upset. You can't compare with others. Like True Buddha School, comparing to Tzu Chi Foundation, just the last digit of the amount of money they have compared to True Buddha School, it's more than True Buddha School. How can we compare with the Fo Guang San? Their temples are so big and ours are so small. The monasteries that they built in any countries, in South Africa, they also built a temple there. And the Fo Guang San Temple at Da Su, Pingtung, Kaohsiung, the whole mountain there. So humongous, it's impossible to compare. As soon as you compare, you would be upset, miserable. And look at the Zhongtai Zen temple. If you visit there, you would see many antiques there. And even just one antique, we can't compare. And if you go to the Huagu San, they have a huge bell. And during the New Year, everybody, including the presidents and vice presidents, they would go there to strike the bells. But we don't have such a big bell. But this is our bell. We only have this Vajra bell. They have huge bell, and it requires many people to pull it and then to strike it like that. We cannot compare. How can you compare with Huagusan, the Flower Drum Mountain? How can you compare with Tzu Chi Foundation? How can you compare with Zhongtai San? How can you compare with Fo Guang San? You should not compare. This is what I like to emphasize. You cannot compare. Comparing is a source of affliction. The Vajra Sutra talks about the meaning of emptiness. The bell is empty, the temples are empty, money is empty, the antiques are empty. If you use the emptiness to embrace, then you embrace everything. So, making offerings and serve the infinite Buddha is still lost to upholding and reciting the Vajra Sutra. So if you can uphold and recite the Vajra Sutra, then you are empty. Then the emptiness embrace or include myriad things in the universe, everything basically. So the Vajra Sutra, if you have comprehended it, that your mind can generate myriad dharma, which means can generate anything and everything. So Sakyamuni Buddha here talk about a comparison. He was making offerings and served the infinite Buddhas, and his merit, or he still lost to the one who could uphold and recite the Vajra Sutra. The merit of the person who could uphold and recite the Vajra Sutra. Why? You should understand this concept, because the Vajra Sutra is emptiness, and emptiness can give rise to all things. Everything comes from emptiness. The earth, water, fire, and wind, the four elements, all comes from emptiness or void. So the five elements, earth, water, fire, wind, and space, or emptiness. Emptiness is the last one, but emptiness can embrace everything. Can embrace the earth, water, fire, and wind. So Grandmaster also have done a comparison. And Sakyamuni Buddha did a comparison too, but let me tell you that comparing is the source of all afflictions. So whatever you encounter, never compare. So you drive a car, an expensive and renowned car. My car is Maserati. It's a kind of sports car made in Italy. And then you encounter Lamborghini and Ferrari, and they are more expensive than Maserati, right? And then and then you feel unhappy, you're upset. And if you encounter a Japanese car, Honda, Infiniti, or Suzuki, or Spar, and then you would feel like, my Maserati is better. And when someone say good car, oh, you are happy. And someone's driving Lamborghini just passes by you, then you would. That's a small comparison. As soon as you compare, then you would be afflicted, whether you would be happy or upset. So we should know never to compare. And Sakyamuni Buddha, in order to explain the Vajra Sutra, he did comparison. And Grandmaster Lu, in order to explain this excerpt of the sutra, I also did some comparison. But let me tell you, never compare. Because the Vajra Sutra stated, non-phenomena of self. When there is no self, how can there be any comparison or comparing? Non-phenomena of others. When there is no self, there is no others. So who is comparing with whom? Non-phenomena of sentient beings. There are no sentient beings. Whom are you comparing with? Non-phenomena of lifespan. No time. Nothing to compare. I often give this example. On the moon, that's basically non-phenomena of self, non-phenomena of others, non-phenomena of sentient beings, and non-phenomena of lifespan. Who would be comparing with whom on the moon? What is good? What is bad? What is Buddha Dharma? What is animal products? What is plant products? None. All of them are inside nothingness. So sometimes, if you do not compare, you would be at peace and at ease. And you uphold and recite the Vajra Sutra, and you comprehend the meanings. And from then on, you comprehend emptiness. You realize, you understand emptiness, and that is enlightenment. But if you actualize and realize this emptiness, then you would become a sage. That would be the greatest, because you have no more afflictions, no merits, no afflictions, no merits, no more attachments. What are you being attached to? No more attachments. And those are the small potatoes, like your moods, your emotions. You're not comparing, so what emotions would you have? But as soon as you compare, you would start to feel some emotions, some mood swings, for human beings. And then, if you have no self, how can you have any habitual tendencies? They are the same as nothing, gone. So you can eradicate all this. And when you're amidst emptiness, you embrace everything. That's the essential meaning of the Vajra Sutra. That's all for today. Om Mani Padme Hum. We are very grateful to His Holiness Precious Dharma teachings. This ends the English interpretation today. If you have a receiver, please remember to return your receiver before you leave. Thank you very much.
顶礼坛城做观想大礼拜，100根本传承上师及诸佛。嗡啊吽，观想顶礼，回天心三印，2拜诸菩萨。嗡啊吽，观想顶礼，回天心三印，3拜诸护法金刚。嗡啊吽，观想顶礼，回天心三印，是平等第7首。恭请世尊以布道展视频接受众线上的众弟子，感恩师父。
新年快乐！新年快乐！新年快乐！
智慧人，
发言了，
诸事
快乐，快乐，快乐，快乐，快乐，
健康身体健康，爱年了，
爱你1万年，
快乐，
感谢众线上的同门，每个礼拜都一样跟师尊打招呼问候师尊。好，我们感谢师尊，谢谢众线上的同门，下周见。
医师新年快乐，新年快乐，感恩师尊，
大家谢谢师尊，谢谢大家。哎呀，刚刚长老言传上是提醒台湾亚洲已经是除夕夜过年了，大家新年好，谢谢。
大家新年好，师尊新年好，
恭喜发财，恭喜发财，恭喜发财，这个很重要，身体健康。请师尊赐授勾财天女法灌顶。 灌顶即将就要结束了，没有接受灌顶的义工同仁，请你们来接受灌顶，灌顶即将就要结束了。我们一起顶礼感恩，谢谢师尊赐受勾财天女法灌顶。附魔法会圆满即将结束了，网络直播到此结束。We now conclude this live broadcast. Thank you.